So good day everyone. Welcome to the course unit 4 of CRIM111 Introduction to Criminology and Psychology of Crime. So the topic for today is all about the classifications of crime. So as you all know, kaya natin i-discuss agad to kasi nga we only have this last week na to and then next week na po ang ating prelim examination. So I hope you better watch this first before having the synchronous session later on. Okay, the course unit 4 or the classification of crimes. So the topic for today is all about the concept, definition, criminological classification, and legal classifications of crime. Okay, so let's start. What is crime ba? Diba? What is crime? As you all know, what is crime? So it is an act or omission in violation of criminal law in its legal point. And also, sabi nga niya, it is an antisocial act, an act that is injurious, detrimental, or harmful to the norms of society. They are the unacceptable acts in its social definition. So, if I would just explain, so for example, sabi niya dyan in the first statement, it is an act or omission. So, when we say act, it means these are the things that we've seen or yung mga ginagawa mo. Ito yung act, nakikita ng mga tao. What is omission naman? Diba? Omission, these are the things na kailangan mong gawin pero hindi mo ginawa. Again, sabi niya, a crime may be defined as an act ginawa mo or omission, meron kang kailangan gawin pero hindi mo ginawa. Again, an act or omission in violation of a criminal law. So therefore, bago natin masabi na ang isang act or omission can be considered as crime, kailangan meron muna siyang vina-violate na isang criminal law. Okay po, in its legal point. Again, crime may be defined as an act or omission in violation of criminal law in its legal point. So, just to be clarified, di ba? Again, sabi nga po natin, there is no crime when there is no law punishing it. So, therefore, magbibigay ako ng example. If ang pagpatay ay wala namang law na nagsasabing bawal pumatay. Therefore, kahit patahin mo silang lahat, hindi ka nila pwedeng ikulong or hindi natin pwedeng sabihin na crime ang ginawa mo kasi wala namang batas na nagsasabing bawal ang pumatay. Okay, so that is crime. Again, a crime, it could be an act or omission in violation of criminal law in its legal point. Next, it is an antisocial act. Siyempre, alam naman natin yan. Ibig sabihin, away from the normal. An act that is injurious, detrimental, or harmful to the norms of society, that they are the unacceptable acts in its social definition. Okay po, sabi nga natin, sila yung mga hindi katanggap-tanggap. That is why nga, gumawa tayo ng batas para maging crime yung isang act. Okay? Next. So, sabi din, psychologically, crime is an act which is considered undesirable due to the behavioral maladjustment of the offender. So, psychologically, it will be a result from a person having a maladjustment period. So, or yung mga hindi pa totally formed or totally aware of what they're doing or parang alam naman nila pero mas choose nilang gumawa ng mali. So these are the acts that are caused by maladaptive or abnormal behavior. Bakit? Tama ba ang mag-commit ng crime? Syempre hindi. Kaya nga sabi niya, psychologically, ang nagko-commit nito, ang ng crime, is yung mga taong maladaptive or merong tinatawag na abnormal behavior. Next, crime. So what is a crime naman? So crime is also a generic name that refers to offense, felony, and delinquency or misdemeanor. So ang crime, hindi lang po, alam na nga natin, it could be into certain weights, which is it is an act or omission, pero iba-iba ang tawag sa kanila. Again, crime, it is just a generic name. 'Di ba? Parang ito yung talagang tawag sa kanya, crime. Pero meron siyang classification. It could be offense, felony, delinquency, or misdemeanor. Parang paracetamol, 'di ba? Paracetamol, yun ang generic name ng gamot na pampalis ng sakit ng ulo or parang analgesic. Pero 'di ba, maraming different examples of paracetamol, isa na yun yung biogesic. So, ibig sabihin, kaya siya naging biogesic, yun na yung pinaka-brand name niya. So, ganun din sa crime. Sa crime, yun ang generic name, and therefore, meron din siyang iba't ibang classification, at yun nga ang offense, felony, delinquency, or misdemeanor. So, let's start. Ano ba yung tinatawag nating offense? Or, how can we know if a crime committed is an offense? 'Di ba? Kung naririnig nyo lang sa balita, naririnig nyo lang, gumawa siya ng crime. Pero minsan, okay, may naririnig kayo, he committed an offense. He committed a felony. Kasi po, magkakaiba po yung classification ng crime. So, number one na nga is offense. So, what is offense? So, offense is an infractions of the law punished by special laws. Ma'am, ano po ba yung mga special laws na yan? Buti pa ang law is special. Okay? Ano ba yung mga special laws na yan? So, a special law is a statute enacted by Congress, penal in character, which is not an amendment to the revised penal code. So, ano yung mga special laws? These are the laws created by our legislative body. Sino ba yung mga legislative body natin? The Congress, di ba? The House of the Congress. Yung mga Senate natin or yung mga gumagawa ng batas. Ano po yun, ma'am? Ito yung mga example niya. Yung mga RA, di ba? May mga naririnig kayo na RA 9165, RA 101175. So, yung mga RA na yon, ang tawag doon ay offense. Wherein, ang tawag sa kanila ay mga special laws na ginagawa lang mismo ng mga senators. Okay? So, offense again are the Republic Acts. Pwede rin po yung presidential decrees or yung mga PD na ginagawa po ng mga presidente. So, pwede rin po yung executive orders, memorandum circulars or ordinances, and rules and regulations. Again, offenses are special laws. Okay po, that was just a statute or enacted by the Congress or even the Senates. Okay po, sila yung mga RA, PDs, executive order, yung mga EO, yung mga memorandum circular. Yan. So, that is anything na any violation of those RAs, PDs, ang tawag sa crime na yun ay offense. So, offenses are generally termed as crimes as mala prohibita. Ano ba yung mala prohibita? Mala prohibita means those that are wrong merely because they are prohibited by statutes such as illegal possessions of firearms. So, ang mala prohibita, ibig sabihin, pinagbabawal lang siya kasi merong batas na nagbabawal doon. Okay po? Again, pag sinabing mala prohibita, kaya siya nagiging, ito yung mga, sabi nga niya, ang offense daw, and na-characterize siya as mala prohibita. And ibig sabihin ng mala prohibita, it means those that are wrong merely because they are just prohibited by statutes. Ibig sabihin, nagiging mali lang siya kasi merong batas na nagbabawal sa kanila. Okay? So, for example, sabi niya, illegal possession of firearm. For example, meron kang baril. 'Di ba? Dati wala namang, for example, sabi natin, dati wala namang batas na bawal kang humawak ng baril or lahat ay pwede naman makabili ng baril or makapaggamit ng baril. So, therefore, hindi mo, kung meron kang baril, tapos kahit hindi rehistrado, therefore, wala kang batas na nakocommit. Pero kung kunwari, meron kang baril, tapos ngayon, hindi mo pinaregister, therefore, meron ka ng na-violate na law, which is yung under ng RA. Kung di ako nagkakamali, that is under RA 10591. Okay? So, illegal possessions of firearm. Another example, para maintindihan yung mala prohibita. Can you see this one? Diba? This man is just only walking on the street. Walking on the street. Tanong, pag ba naglalakad ka, mayroon kang pinapatay? Meron kang sinasaktan? Wala, diba? Pero kailan lang nagiging mali ang paglalakad? So, for example, ako naglalakad sa daan. Okay, ayan, sa freeway na yan. Kung naglalakad ako dyan, may ginagawa ba ako masama? Ikaw, generally, may pinatay ba ako? May pinagnakawan ba ako? Wala, masaya lang akong lumalakad papunta ng work. Wala, 'di ba? Pero bakit lang magiging bawal yung paglalakad na yan sa daan? Kapag merong batas na nagsabi na bawal kang lumakad dyan sa mismong way na yan. Therefore, 'di ba? Therefore, yung ginagawa kong paglakad na yan, kahit wala akong sinasaktan, kahit wala naman akong intensyon na, ah, 'di ba, gumawa ng crime, nagiging crime na siya or as an offense kasi meron ng batas na nagsasabi na, yan nga, no jaywalking. 'Di ba? Or bawal akong dumaan ah, sa street na yan. Pero kung tutusin, o kanwari, naglalakad ka, may mali ba or may masama ba sa paglalakad? Wala. Pero bakit lang siya nagiging masama ang paglalakad kapag naglakad ka on a certain street tapos nakalagay yung sign na no jaywalking? Nagets nyo na ba niyan? 'Di ba? Sabi nga niya, offenses are generally termed as crimes as mala prohibita. It means those are wrong merely because they are just prohibited by statutes. 'Di ba? Um, nagiging mali lang yung isang act or omission kapag merong batas na ginawa. Ganun ang tinatawag ng mala prohibita. Katulad nga ng example ko, kung naglalakad ka lang na simple, may masama ba doon? Hindi ba yun ka nais-nais sa mata ng tao? May ginawa ka bang masama? Generally, wala. Pero bakit ka lang magiging bawal yung gantong, 'di ba, paglalakad? Kapag merong diyang batas na nagsasabi na bawal kang maglakad diyan. 'Di ba? Yan nga, no jaywalking. So therefore, yung paglalakad mo na yan, kahit sabihin mo wala kang sinasaktan, wala kang intensyon na patayin, pero 'di ba? Dahil nga pinagbawal yan ng isang batas, therefore nagiging siyang crime. Nakuha na niya. So, ang tawag dyan ay mala prohibita. Again, when we say offense, these are just the crimes committed in the relation of violating a special law. So, ano ba yung mga special law? These are the RAPDs, EOs, Memorandum Circulars, Ordinances, and Rules and Regulation. Next, felony. Or what we call delito. Ano po yung mga felony or delito? Okay. When we say felony, it is an act or omission punishable by revised penal code. So, yung revised penal code of the Philippines, so it is committed by means of deceit or dolo or by means of fault or culpa. Ang felonies, okay, alam niyo po yung parang, ito, pakita ko sa inyo. Sorry, nasa likod kasi yung nasa dulo yung mismong picture. Wait lang po. So, for example lang naman, yun. Ito ang ating revised penal code. So, yan yung parang nakita niyong Bible. So, yan talaga yung legal fundamental law ng ating bansa, ang revised penal code, which is na-establish pa yan nung panahon pa ng mga Espanyol. Diba? Código Penal ang tawag dyan. So, maraming mga batas dyan. Okay? Yan talaga. So, kapag nakapag-commit ka ng crime against that revised penal code of the Philippines, therefore, ang tawag po doon ay felony. Okay? Again, felony. So, nakadalawa na tayo Kapag ang kinomit mo ay offense, 'di ba? Or offense, nga, ibig sabihin ang nako-commit mong or ang na-violate mong law is yung mga RA, 'di ba? Kapag naman sa felony, ibig sabihin ang na-violate mong law is the revised penal code of the Philippines. And ang felony, okay, can be committed in two ways, 'di ba? Or by means of deceit or dolo na tinatawag natin, or by means of fault or culpa. Ibig sabihin ng deceit or dolo, it means intentional, and pag sinabi naman nating fault or culpa, these are the unintentional crime. Okay? So again, a felony, okay, can be committed in two ways, deceit or dolo, and by means of fault or culpa. So felonies are generally termed as crimes malainse. So, what is malainse? Yung kanina mala prohibita, ngayon naman malainse. So, what is malainse? Those that are wrongful from their nature, such as murder, theft, robbery. Ibig sabihin ng malainse, ayan, sabi nga niya, wrongful from their nature. Ibig sabihin, kahit sabihin mo pang wala pang batas na nagsasabing bawal pumatay, ayan. So, bawal pumatay. So, therefore, di ba, kahit sabihin mong wala pa tayong law against the murder or against killing up another person. So, alam natin sa mata sa mata ng ating lahat at sa mata ng Diyos, bawal yan. Kasi you hurt someone, di ba? Or, naging, tawag dito, parang lumabag ka, di ba, sa moral values. So, therefore, ang tawag sa mga ganong crime is malainse. Okay? Ibig sabihin, mali na talaga siya. So, bigyan ko lang kayo ng comparison. Kanina, kapag sinabi nating mala prohibita, yung act mo mismo, hindi naman talaga siya wrong. For example, naglalakad ka nga lang. Masama ba yun? Hindi. So, therefore, nakaklasify siya as mala prohibita. Bakit siya nagiging mala prohibita? Kasi meron lang batas na nagsabi na bawal kang maglakad dito ah, sa isang daan. Mala prohibita. Pero yung act mo na naglalakad, hindi naman talaga mali yun eh. Okay? How about malainse? Ang sinasabi natin. Ang malainse, sa nature pa lang niya, okay, katulad nga sabi niya ng murder, theft, robbery, wrong na talaga siya. 'Di ba? Kasi immoral ang yung mismong act. Nagets yun na ba niya na pinagkaiba ng malainse and mala prohibita? O, for example, again, bawal lumabas. 'Di ba? O, bawal lumabas. O, bawal lumabas. Okay, 'di ba? Ngayong quarantine, tanong, doon ba nung lumalabas tayo ng bahay, pinagbabawal tayo? Hindi. Kasi, bakit kung lalabas ka ng bahay, karapatan mo yun, 'di ba? Right mo yun. Pero, nung pinagbawal tayong lumabas, 'di ba? Masama bang lumabas? Una, masama bang lumabas? Hindi po. Hindi naman talaga nagiging masama. Pero, bakit lang siya naging masama ngayon? Or parang bakit siya nagiging crime? Kasi merong batas or parang sabi nating memorandum circular na ganito na bawal kayong lumabas ng gantong oras. So, ang tawag dun sa mga ganong crime is mala prohibita and yun ang base ng ating offense. Okay po? Yan. Meron lang batas. Therefore, yung act mo, hindi naman talaga wrong in nature. Ang felony, ayan, which is tinatawag nating malainse, ibig sabihin, wrongful from their nature. Na ibig sabihin, yung mismong act niya mismo ay mali. And again, pag sinabi nating felony, it means it is an act or omission punishable by the RPC. Or, meron kang na-commit na crime in violation of the revised penal code. And always remember that felony can be committed by means of deceit or dolo, yung tinatawag nating intentional, and by means of fault or culpa, or tinatawag nating unintentional. Next, delinquency or misdemeanor. So, ano naman ang tinatawag nating delinquency or misdemeanor? Okay, these are the acts that are in violation of simple rules lang and regulations, usually referring to acts committed by minor offenders. So, ano po yan, ma'am? For example, curfew. Ayan, di ba? Committed yan ng mga minor offenders. Kapag meron tayong rules and regulations about curfew and then hindi sila, or ano sila doon, nag-violate doon sila sa rules na yon. Therefore, ang tawag doon sa crime na ginawa nila is delinquency or misdemeanor. For example, lagi kang nag-absent sa school or parang nag-act ka ng bullying sa school. Pwede yun ng delinquency lang or misdemeanor. So again, meron tayong, 'di ba, classifications of crime. Pwede siyang offense. It means in violations of the special laws. Ayan. And felony, ibig sabihin, in violation of RPC or Revised Penal Code. And last one, pag sinabi naman nating delinquency or misdemeanor, these are just the in violation of simple rules or referring to the acts committed by minor offenders. Okay po. Next. So, these are the important terms to consider. Okay, eto. Ano bang, in-explain ko na siya ulit. Kanina, explain ko lang siya ulit. Pag sinabi nating act, okay, it means any bodily movement tending to produce some effect in the external world or external act. Ito mismo yung ginagawa nyo. Okay, only external act is punished. Hence, a criminal thought or a mere intention, no matter how immoral or improper it may be, will never constitute a felony. Okay, anong ibig sabihin nun, ma'am? For example, okay, yung sinasabi lang yan, yung mismong act lang na nagawa, okay, yun lang ang nabibigyan ng crime. For example, meron kayong isang classmate, o kanwari, si Yaya Dab. Si Yaya Dab, pinagnanasaan niyang i-rape itong si Alden. Just an example, okay? O balik na rin na lang natin. Si Alden, pinagnanasaan niyang i-rape si Yaya Dab. So, one day, nagde-daydream itong si Alden. So, sa kanyang pagde-daydream is, naisip niya, kinidnap niya si Yaya Dab, and then, ni-rape niya. Tapos, pinatay niya. So, yun yung iniisip niya. Therefore, after yung mag-daydream, tanong, pwede na po ba nating ikulong si Alden? Pwede ba natin siyang ikulong? Siyempre hindi. Bakit? Nag-daydream lang siya. Wala naman siyang ginawa eh. Diba? Ibig sabihin, it is just a mere intention. 'Di ba? Or it is just parang iniisip lang niya. Criminal thought lang niya, pero hindi naman niya ginawa. So therefore, hindi 'yun pwedeng kasuhan ng krimen kahit na ganun lang ang iniisip niya. 'Di ba? Kailan lang pwedeng maging ma-consider na crime 'yon, yung iniisip niya. Kapag yung iniisip niyang 'yon is ginawa niya, 'di ba? In actual or yung tinatawag nating an act. Ibig sabihin nga bodily movement tending to produce some effect in the external world. 'Di ba? So therefore, yun lang ang pwedeng masabi na nag-commit siya ng crime. Again, 'di ba? There are two ways to commit a crime is either an act. Ibig sabihin, ginawa mo nga or tinatawag natin omission. So, maliwanag na tayo sa act. How about omission? Again, when we say omission, is meant is inaction. Pag sinabing inaction, wala kang ginawa. Or parang kailangan mong gawin pero hindi mo gawa. It means the failure to perform a positive duty which is one is bound to do so. However, there must be a law requiring the doing or performance of an act. For example, sabihin na natin na may batas na nagsasabi na lahat ng pulis kailangan magpatrol. Kapag hindi sila nagpatrol, makukulong sila. For example lang naman po, ano. So, therefore, kapag hindi sila nagpatrol, okay, for example, kailangan nilang gawin yung pagpapatrol, pero hindi sila nagpatrol, so according to that law, nag-violate na sila ng crime. 'Di ba? Nag-violate na sila ng law na yon. Nag-gets nyo? Kasi, yung omission, okay, ibig sabihin, merong pinapagawa sa'yo yung batas. Okay, na dapat mong sundin, pero hindi mo ginawa. So, therefore, meron ka pa ring nilalabag na batas nun. Kasi merong nagre-require sa'yo na gawin yun. Nag-gets nyo na yan? Ang pinagkaiba ng act or omission. Again, there are two ways to commit a crime. Is either an act gagawin mo, or is either omission pinapagawa sa'yo, hindi mo ginawa. Next. Ito, yung kanina, dolo or deceit. When we say dolo or deceit, it is a deceitful when there is a deliberate intent or intentional nga, sabi ko nga. Otherwise known as intentional felony, or the act or omission of the offender is malicious. So the offender has an intention to cause an injury to another. So again, most of the felonies, diba, defined and penalized under the revised penal code are committed by means of dolo or with malice. Okay? Again, diba, sa felony, sabi niya, it could be committed. Sabi sa felony, it could a crime na na-violate natin doon could be committed in two ways. Is either by dolo or deceit, yun nga, intentional, or yung tinatawag nating culpa or fault. Pag sinabi natin dolo or deceit, it means intention. Pinagplanuhan mo talaga. Intention to cause an injury to another. How about naman yung tinatawag nating culpa or fault? Or yung unintentional. When I say culpa or fault, it is a culpable felony when the act or omission of the offender is not malicious or not intentional. So the injury caused in unintentional, simply the incident of another act performed without malice. Ano po yung mga example niyan? So, the wrongful acts results from imprudence. Ibig sabihin ng imprudence, deficiency of actions or parang kulang ka sa skill, ganyan. And pag sinabi naman nating negligence, deficiency of perception or parang hindi mo nakita. So, negligence usually involves a lack of foresight. Sabi ko nga, pag negligence, parang hindi mo agad nakita. Lack of perception. Parang kulang, ganon. Kapag naman imprudence works of lack of skill, hindi mo kaya. Paano yun unintentional nagiging crime? For example, nag-drive ka. Okay? Nagda-drive ka. So, habang nagda-drive ka, hindi mo nakita, okay? Okay, hindi mo nakita or hindi mo na-check na wala ka palang brake or hindi gumagana yung brake ng sasakyan mo. So, therefore, ang na-perform na nun is tinatawag nating negligence. Ibig sabihin, di ba, deficiency of perception or lack of foresight. Hindi mo nakita eh. Di ba? So, and then, So, habang nagda-drive ka, hindi mo nga alam, 'di ba? Hindi mo alam na wala kang brake. Accidentally, ang bilis-bilis mong mag-drive, and then merong biglang dadaan na bata. So, nung magbe-brake ka na, para sana hindi mo masagasaan ng bata, hindi mo, yun nga, dahil hindi mo alam na wala kang brake, accidentally, nasagasaan mo ang bata, at yun na, namatay yung bata. Ang tanong, intention mo bang patayin yung bata? Hindi. Pero napatay mo. Bakit? Kasi nga, it could be a culpable fault or unintentional. Why? Kasi pag ang culpable fault, it could be, tawag dito, a result from, imprudence, 'di ba? Or negligence. Negligence, una na yon yung hindi mo nakita yung brake. How about naman yung imprudence or lack of skill, ma'am? Paano papasok yon? For example, lack of skill, wala kang kakayahan. Wala kang kakayahang pahintuin yung sakyan mo or ano man ang gawin mong paraan. Parang wala ka na talagang choice, ganyan. Nag-guess nyo ba? So, ganun ang lack of force. Lack of foresight, pwede rin yung, for example, nagda-drive ka, kahit hindi sira yung yung sasakyan mo, hindi mo lang nakita. Wala ka namang intensyon na patayin yung bata, pero napatay mo kasi hindi mo nakitang biglang dumaan. So, again, those type of crimes are culpable fault or unintentional. Next. Okay, sabi nga niya, there are few felonies under RPC that are committed by means of fault or culpa. So, this includes the Article 217, malversations, Article 224, evasion through negligence or yung mga nakakatakas ng kulungan ng hindi napapansin ng mga prison guard or uh, personnel. And then we also have the Article 365 or imprudence or negligence. Lahat yan makikita sa ating revised penal code. So mostly kasi nalalabag na batas sa revised penal code is under ng tinatawag nating dolo or deceit or intentional. So there are crimes which cannot be committed through imprudence of negligence such as murder, treason, robbery, or malicious mischief. Etong mga murder, treason, robbery, talagang hindi mo yan pwedeng sabihin na imprudence or negligence. Ano yon? Hindi mo sinasadyang magnakaw ka? Hindi mo sinasadyang pumatay ka? Pwede siguro yon kung yung sa murder, yung ating self-defense. Next. These are the criminological classifications of crime. Okay, these are the criminological classifications of crime. So, crimes are classified in order to focus a better understanding on their existence. So, criminologists consider a various criminological classifications of crimes, which includes acquisitive and extinctive crime. Ano bang pinagkaiba ng acquisitive and extinctive crime? Pag sinabi nating acquisitive, it is a type of crime wherein when committed, the offender acquires something as a consequence of his criminal act. Therefore, ito yung yung isang criminal, kapag natik niya yung crime na to, meron siyang nakukuha. 'Di ba? Offender acquires something in a consequence of criminal act. Example niyan is yung ating theft or yung mga magnanakaw. Ibig sabihin, meron silang nakuha. Kapag naman sinabi natin ang crime is an extinctive, therefore, the result of criminal act is destruction. Bakit? Pag sinabing extinctive, sinisira mo naman or damage to property. So, for example, ayan, 'di ba? Ito, nagnakaw ka. Ibig sabihin, this is acquisitive crime. Therefore, meron ka kasing nakuha in return, di ba? Meron kang nakuha in return. Meron kang na-acquire. So, that is acquisitive crime. What is this? This is extinctive crime. Therefore, ito yung meron kang sinisira naman. Diba? That is arson. So, this is theft. This is arson. Sabihin natin robbery. This is robbery. This is arson. Again, kapag sinisira mo or may nire-destroy kang isang bagay, ang tawag doon ay extinctive crime. Pero for example, meron kang nakukuhang benefits, 'di ba? Such as money, therefore that is acquisitive crime. Next. So, okay na tayo kay acquisitive and extinctive. Now, let's go with seasonal and situational. Okay? Parang nakakalito kasi ito eh. Pag sinabi nating seasonal crimes are those that are committed only at a certain period of the year. Okay? Only at the certain period of the year. So, while situational crimes are those that are committed only when a given situation is conducive to its commission. Pag sinabi nating seasonal crime, okay, magagawa mo lang to in relation dun sa isang season na yon. Okay, these are types of crime na magagawa mo lang kapag ginaganap yung isang season na yon. Okay, kapag naman situational, ibig sabihin, conducive yan sa isang criminal. For example, okay, ito. Itong vote buying na to, okay, 'di ba? Kailan mo lang pwedeng gawin 'yan? Malamang kapag season ng botohan. 'Di ba po? Kasi hindi ka naman magkakaroon ng vote buying kung wala namang botohan, walang election, 'di ba? Gets nyo po ba? That is seasonal. Magagawa mo lang yung isang crime. It is a type of crime wherein it could be only committed when it is in a certain period. Ba, araw-araw ba may vote buying? Wala. Next, how about this? This is Panagbengka Festival. Okay, bakit yan, ma'am? Season din naman yan, ha. Once in a year lang din naman merong nagkakaroon ng Panagbengka Festival. For example lang naman, okay? Ang ginawa mo dyan is, dahil madaming tao, nag-commit ka ng theft. Or, nagnakaw ka. Dahil madaming tao, di ba? Siksikan. So, nakapagnakaw ka. Bakit mo sinabing situational, ma'am? Okay? Or parang, conducive sa situation. Paano siya nagiging conducive? Siyempre, kung criminal ka, magnanakaw ka, sa sitwasyon na madaming tao, mas malaki yung chance mo na makapag-commit ka ng theft. Kasi madaming ang tao, hindi ka niya masyadong mapapansin dahil siksikan. So, therefore, situational siya. Ma'am, ba't hindi mo siya kinount as seasonal? Yung panagbengka naman is nangyayari lang yan every once a year. Ang tanong, yung bang crime of theft, magagawa mo lang kapag may panagbengka? Hindi. 'Di ba? Kasi ang theft kahit kailan pwede mo ring magawa kahit hindi yan panagbengka festival eh. Kahit nga lang sa nasa Divisoria ka eh. Nakita yung pinagkaiba? 'Di ba? Kapag sinabi nating seasonal, magagawa mo lang yan doon sa mismong season na yon. Kasi nga, di naman araw-araw, merong eleksyon. Diba? Sabihin, related itong type of crime doon sa mismong season na yon, doon sa mismong certain period na yon. Pag sinabi naman natin situational, therefore, nagiging conducive lang ito sa isang kriminal. Kasi nga, yan, kanwari nga, madami ang tao. So, therefore, gagamitin niya yung opportunity na yon para makapagnakaw siya. Okay? Kaya sabihin mo na in relation yan ng parang sabi natin meron siyang, ma'am, festival naman siya. Unless ang type of crime na ginawa niya is nagnakaw siya ng madaming flower. Therefore, pwede natin sabihin na seasonal yan. Again, no. For example, sige, bigyan ko kayo ng example. Sa panagbengka, sabihin na natin, ang ninakaw niya, imbis na nagnakaw siya dahil sa madaming tao na yan, ang ninakaw niya yung mga props ng mga flowers na yan. Lahat ng flowers, sabihin na natin, dahil obsessed siya sa mga flowers, ninakaw niya. So, therefore, pwede natin sabihin na ang ginawa niyang crime is seasonal. Bakit? Kailan ka lang ba pwedeng makapagnakaw ng madaming flowers na ganyan? Kung di lang kapag Panagbengka Festival. Pero kung ang ginawa ng tao is nagnakaw lang siya ng simple na mga wallet dyan dahil sa madaming tao, therefore, ang ginawa lang niya is situational. Kasi, conducive yon dahil madaming tao. So, I guess naintindihan nyo na ang pinagkaiba ng seasonal and situational. Again, kapag seasonal, certain period lang. Hindi mo magagawa ang crime na yon kapag hindi yon ng season. Pag situational, therefore, parang merong opportunity or malaki ang opportunity ng ating isang criminal para magawa niya yung isang crime. Next, episodic and instant crime. Ano ang pinagkaiba ng episodic crime and instant crime? Episodic crimes are serial crimes that are committed by series of acts within a lengthy space of time. Okay? Kapag episodic, ibig sabihin, mahabang panahon ito para magawa mo yung crime. Okay? Pag naman sinabi nating instant crimes are those that are committed in the shortest possible time. Or for example, pagsabog. Parang one instant, kaya nga instant. Anong example? For example, episodic. Kunwari pinagpaplanuhan mong sunugin yung bahay niya. So, first day ang ginawa mo is pinatay mo muna yung mga aso niya. Para kapag kinabukasan naman nun, ang ginawa mo, naghukay ka dun sa gilid ng bahay niya. Diba? Kinabukasan, third day na, ang ginawa mo is, naglagay ka na ng gas dun sa gilid ng bahay niya. And nung fourth day, nung nakita mong wala na siya, doon mo sinunog. So, therefore, diba, that is episodic. Bakit? Kasi na-commit mo lang or na-complete mo yung ah, paggawa ng crime after 4 days. So, sabi nga niya, it is committed by a series of act or within a lengthy space of time. So, that is episodic. Ano naman yung instant crime? Yung instant crime, okay? For example, gusto mo sunugin ang bahay niya, imbis na sunugin na lang, ginawa mo, maglagay ka ng bomba, one instant, hinagis mo yung bomba, boom. Diba? Namatay na yung target mo or nasira na yung bahay niya. Nag-gets nyo na ba niya ng episodic and instant crime? Another example. Episodic, pwede yung, kanwari, isa-isa. Serial killer. Pag serial killer, di ba? Pag sinabi serial killer, isa-isa. Hindi naman, isa-isa, meron siyang tina-target. So, kanwari, ang target niya is patayin lahat ng babae sa buong Pampanga. So, that is episodic. Kasi nga, madaming series of acts. Kapag naman instant crimes, okay, gusto niya lang mamatay naman lahat ng tao sa isang certain municipality, kanwari lahat ng tao sa Lubao, pwede siyang gumawa ng massacre. Diba? Misanan lang. Instant yon. Nakita nyo na yung pinagkaiba? Episodic, series of act. Madami mo ng acts. Sinabi naman natin instant, one time, big time lang. Shortest possible time. Okay? Next. Static and continuing crime. Ano pinagkaiba ng static crime sa continuing crime? When we say static, okay, these are crimes that are committed only in one place. Isang place lang. Sinabi naman natin continuing, these are crimes that are committed in several places. So again, kapag static, ang crime scene mo, isa lang. For example, nag-commit ka ng crime sa isang kwarto, okay, dun lang yung ating crime. Okay? So that is a static crime. Kapag naman ang continuing, these are crimes that are committed in several places. Pwede yan yung for kidnapping. O, kanwari, si Kim Chu, kinidnap niya si Chris Aquino. Ang mangyari nun, so one day, nung nakidnap niya si Chris Aquino, dinala niya sa Mandaluyong. The next day naman, okay, dinala niya sa Makati. Tinorture niya doon. The next day naman, nilipat niya sa Cebu. Doon na niya pinatay. So, therefore, that is a continuing crime. Ibig sabihin, committed in several places. Usually, kidnapping yan nangyayari dyan sa continuing crime. Okay? For example, simple crime lang na nakommit sa isang bahay, sa isang place. Therefore, that is static crime. Okay? Diba? Napakadali lang. Next, rational and irrational crimes. Anong pinagkaiba? So, pag sinabi natin rational crimes are those committed with intent. Ibig sabihin, pinagplanuhan. The offender is in full possession of his mental faculties. Ibig sabihin, alam niya yung ginagawa niya. Those are the rational crimes. Kapag naman sinabi nating irrational, these are crimes committed without intent. Okay? Hindi niya ginusto. Okay? Or parang wala naman talaga siyang intention. The offender does not know the nature of his act. Ibig sabihin ng irrational, hindi niya pinag-iisipan. At hindi niya alam kung tama o mali ang ginagawa niya. Okay po. Again, kapag rational crime, pinag-isipan or alam ng ating offender yung kanyang ginagawa. Pag sinabi naman nating irrational, without intent, and the offender does not know the nature of his act. Next. White collar and blue collar crimes. Anong pinagkaiba ng white collar and blue collar crimes? Pag sinabi nating white collar crimes, these are those committed by a person of responsibility and of upper socio-economic class in the course of their occupational activities. So, pag sinabing white collar crime, for example, isa ka ng may-ari ng kumpanya. Okay? Yun na talagang kinabubuhay mo, isa kang businessman. Pero parang dahil ikaw ang businessman, meron ka pang another illegal activities, nagpo-provide ka ng mga drugs. So therefore, white collar crimes yon. Okay? Parang extra mo lang yung pagka-create ng drugs. How about blue collar crimes naman? Pag sinabi nating blue collar crimes are those committed by ordinary professionals to maintain their livelihood. Ibig sabihin, yun talaga yung pangkabuhayan nila is mag-commit ng crime. Yun mga tinatawag natin blue collar crimes. So, for example, ayan. Kapag blue collar crimes, okay, ang means of living mo or para mabuhay ka sa mundong ito, para mabuhay ang pamilya mo, is mag-commit ka ng crime. That is blue collar crime. Sabi niya, to maintain their livelihood. Pag naman ang white collar crime, ibig sabihin, extra mo lang yan. Ang talagang trabaho mo is ganito. May extra ka lang. Sabi ko nga, may-ari ka ng kumpanya. O, yun talagang bumubuhay sa'yo. Tapos nakita mo na pwede ka palang kumita kapag mag-trade ka ng illegal drugs. Therefore, it makes it as a white collar crime. Kasi yung talagang pinagkukuhanan mo ng pamumuhay mo is yung business mo naman talaga. So, dinagdagan mo lang siya. 'Diba? Sabi niya, those committed by a person of responsibility and of the upper socio-economic class. So, ibig sabihin, hindi mo naman kailangan talaga directly na ikaw yung magnanakaw. Kasi nga, may trabaho ka namang ginagawa para mabuhay mo yung pamilya mo, 'di ba? Or ito yung maging means mo para mabuhay ka. So, naiintindihan? White collar crimes and blue collar crimes. Next, upper world and underworld crimes. Anong pinagkaiba? So, ito. Upper world crimes are those committed by individuals belonging to the upper class of society. Ito yung mga mayayaman. Okay. Pag naman underworld crimes are committed by the members of the lower or underprivileged class of society. Okay, upper world crimes, these are committed ng mga mayayaman, and underworld crimes, these are committed by lower or underprivileged class of society. Next. Ito. What is the difference by crimes by imitation and crimes by passion? Sinabi natin crimes by imitation, these are crimes committed by merely duplication of what was done by others. Ibig sabihin, ginagaya mo lang. That is crimes by imitation. For example, uh, yung kapwa mo police, nakita mo, nung merong bumastos sa kanya, binaril niya patago yung taong yun. So, ibig sabihin, crimes by imitation, okay, ginawa pala ni Sargento yun. Ako din, gagawin ko na lang. Kung merong may mga asar sa akin as a police officer, papatayin ko na lang din ng patago. Ibig sabihin, ginagaya mo lang yung mga ginagawa ng ibang tao. Sabi niya, kaya crimes by imitation. Okay? Kapag naman crimes by passion, these are crimes committed because of the fit of great emotion. Ito na yung sinasadya or intentional. Pag passion, it has an involvement of your emotions. 'Di ba? Ibig sabihin, talagang, sige, pag ang ginawa niya is, papatayin ko siya kahit walang nakakita sa kanya or wala siyang ginagaya. Papatayin ko siya kasi galit ako sa kanya, nagsiselos ako sa kanya. Therefore, that is crimes by passion. Okay po? So, for example, bigyan ko ng yung kanina, 'di ba? Kung kanwari ginawa ng isang officer is talagang pinatay niya kahit hindi pa niya nakita yung kapwa niya officer na nagpatay din ng mga tao ng insulto sa kanya. Eh yung isa naman kaya siya nagpatay ng taong ng insulto sa kanya kasi sobrang galit na siya dun sa mga taong yun. Therefore, that is crime by passion. Next, service crimes. Ano pa naman yung mga service crimes? So, service crimes refers to the crimes committed through rendition of a service to satisfy the desire of another. Therefore, gumagawa ka ng crime para sa iba. 'Di ba? To satisfy the desire of another. Hindi mo naman talaga motive 'yon. Merong ibang may intention doon. So, for example na lang diyan yung mga gun for hire. 'Di ba? Ibig sabihin, wala naman siyang galit dun sa taong yon na pinapatay niya. Wala naman siya talagang connection dun sa taong yon bakit niya pinapatay. Pero dahil it is a form of a service niya or binabayaran siya dun. Okay po? So, that is service crimes. Next, legal classifications of crime. So, under revised penal code naman, okay? Or parang sabi nga natin, ito yung parang fundamental na talagang first law na meron tayo before tayo nagkaroon ng mga RAs. Ito muna. So, legal classification of crimes under revised penal code of the Philippines, a source of Philippine criminal law, crimes are classified as, ayan, tingnan revised penal code. Ayan, crimes against national security. So, madami yan eh. Ilan ba sa yung sections? So, ang ating revised penal code has a title tong mga to ha. 13 titles. Okay po, ang ating revised penal code. Actually, nasa ano to, revised penal code. Book 2. Okay, book 2 yan. Nasa book 2. So, number 1, we have title of Crimes Against National Security and the Law of Nations. Ibig sabihin, ito yung mga treason, espionage, and piracy. And we also have Crimes Against Fundamental Law of the State, o yung parang karapatan mo naman, 'di ba? That is arbitrary detention. violation of domicile or mga trespassing. Crimes against public order, parang creating commotion within the society. So, ito yung mga rebellion, sedition, coup d'etat. And then, we also have crimes against public interest, di ba? Ito naman yung forgery, falsification, fraud. And then, we also have the crimes against public morals. Ito yung mga decency, di ba? Yung pagiging moralidad, pagsusugal, ganyan, 'di ba? Scandal, obscenity, vagrancy, ayan. And syempre, prostitution. Next, we also have crimes committed by public officers. Ito naman, these are the types of crimes wherein ang mga nagko-commit nito is yung mga public officers. Next, crimes against person. Ito na yung mga pagpatay, di ba? Murder. Pwede rin yung physical injuries. Meron din tayong crimes against properties. Ibig sabihin naman, ang nagiging biktima dito yung mga pagnanakaw, ganyan. Diba? Theft. Also, meron tayong crimes against personal liberty and security, which is yan, illegal detention, kidnapping, trespass to dwelling, threat, and coercion. We also have crimes against chastity, di ba? Ito naman, sa mga mag-asawa, di ba? Concubinage, adultery, seduction, abduction, or yung pag-chastity, ibig sabihin, these are sensitive crimes, 'di ba? Or private crimes na tinatawag natin. Ibig sabihin hindi pwedeng magsampa ng kaso unless yung biktima muna yung magsasampa ng kaso. That is crimes against chastity. That is private crime. And then we also have crimes against civil status of person, yung mga bigamy, other legal marriages, or 'di ba? Isa lang dapat ang asawa mo pero nagpakasal ka ng madami. So that is bigamy. We also have the crimes against honor, yung paninira ng puri, yan, libel, oral defamation, and the last one, we have the quasi offenses or criminal negligence. O yung example natin kanina na imprudence and negligence po. So again, those are just the legal classifications of crime according to the revised penal code. So that ends our discussion for this course unit 4. So if you have any questions about this, please take down notes para mabigay liwanag natin mamaya sa ating discussion. Okay, again, so we will meet at exactly yung time na pinost ko sa ating read this for today's instruction. So, I hope you learned for this course unit 4 and see you in our Google discussion. Don't forget to review and don't forget to watch this because it is included in your quiz. Okay? Thank you.